I just told my parents I'm going to drop out of med school. They did not take it well. They did not take it well at all. These are the periods of time when no one believes in you. When everyone calls you crazy, call you a failure. It's lonely as fuck. When you've already made it, everyone's sucking your dick. You don't need the validation anymore. You've made it. Here is where you need it most. And so if this video can help someone else in a similar position, that's a W. I know what it feels like to have a vision so great that no one else can see it and you feel like you're retarded. But I'm telling you, you're not. The pessimists get to be right. The optimists get to be rich. And you're going to spend the whole time saying, I'm wrong, you're right. I'm wrong, you're right. I'm wrong, you're right. Until you're right. That's how this shit works. If you try and build something great, it's going to take a lot longer than you think. And when I say a lot longer, think about the time period you think you're going to do it in, times it by 10. And that's why you got to love the journey, man. You got to be fulfilled by this shit. I left med school to do fitness because we're on a mission to change this world. I'll show you guys how I train, and yeah, enjoy the rest of the video. Let me know if you want more stuff like this because I enjoy making them. Yeah, this like just feels really weird, like filming myself in the gym. Today I was like not actually going to do this, and every single time I want to do it, I just pussy out because I'm like, shit, there's gonna be people, I'm gonna look weird. But at the end of the day, nobody gives a fuck. Nobody really cares. Starting off the gym, I felt the exact same feelings, but I went anyway. And then later into my gym journey, I realized that everyone's actually thinking the same thing you are. They're thinking, what if people see me? Do I look weird right now? Everyone's thinking that, and everyone's in their own heads. No one's actually paying attention to you. The moment I realized that, you just get liberated from all the social anxiety. I can scream at the top of my lungs right now. Some people will look, right? But most people won't. And even if they look, they'll forget it in 5 seconds. The marble was really hurting my wrist because I still fuck my wrist in boxing, man. And it just really hurts when I do a grip like this. So I'm gonna just do a neutral grip. And this one, like, you just adapt, There's many ways to skin a cat. People are like always online, they're like, oh, if you don't do this one exercise, you're killing your gains. Bullshit. Follow principles, I get stronger, I train to failure, and I have a balanced program. Recently, I'm just starting to hit what's not sore. It fucking works. You're probably wondering, why did I drop out of med school to do fitness coaching? Aren't PTs just like dumb? PTs have a bad rep because it's such a low barrier of entry that a lot of people just get into PT and aren't really very good at it. But over the last year, I've invested a lot of time and money into mentors, all my effort going all into this coaching thing. Fucking love it, man. If you're actually changing people's lives in medicine, you're quite restricted in your ability to do that. And I know doctors, they're known as like, you're saving lives. But unless you're in some like theater where you're doing life-saving surgery, you're not actually saving lives. You're very restricted in your ability to save lives. You're essentially numbing people to the symptoms, or like not treating the root cause, but just band-aiding the symptoms. I want to learn nutrition. I want to learn exercise. I want to learn how to lose fat, how to strip fat off a human being, because that at the end of the day is going to change so much about their longevity, change so much about their life quality. Way more than just, here's a pill, take it and you'll be good. Not the case. That's not how you actually help someone. The thing about like making these changes is it's difficult. Changing your body is difficult. Changing your lifestyle is fucking hard. That's why people don't do it. Make me a radio. Tell me what you feel. I try not to swing unless I absolutely have to. So that last set I kind of cheated a bit, but that's alright. Just 2 sets only. The reason I do 2 sets, by the way, is because it's either your first set or your last set. So you need to give it your all. When I was doing 3 sets, I found in the middle set, I would just slack off. Like I wouldn't give it 110% because it was just that set in the middle. It wasn't my last set to empty the tank, and it was my first set when I was fresh.
I found when I switched to 2 sets, it did 2 things. Number one, I was able to fit more exercise variety into 1 day of programming, which allowed me to hit the muscle in different ways that I hadn't otherwise been exposed to. That caused a lot of growth. And then number 2, my ability to train intensely increased rapidly. And now only recently, the science-based lifters are catching on. They're saying 2 sets is optimal. At the end of the day, the optimal thing is what will allow you to train to failure. True failure. True failure, how can that be achieved? It needs no constraint of the mind, aka you have to be motivated, you want to do it, you enjoy it. And number 2, it doesn't have to be, it can't be constrained by the body, which means that if there's an accessory muscle that's actually limiting your ability to take your lats to failure. For example, if I didn't have grips, my forearms would fail before my lats would. And that would prevent me from taking my lats to 2 tasks to failure. So that's also something else you got to account for. Ultimately, the optimal way is actually training failure. It's as simple as that. People overcomplicate it so much, but it doesn't have to be that complicated. The next exercise we're going to do is some incline bench press. Because I've actually worked my lats, and it will allow me just to be more stable now with my back against the bench. Surprisingly, people get injured in bench because they don't engage their lats in the exercise. I'll show you what I mean. I don't think I recorded that last set. I had like a full rant where I was talking about science-based lifting and like saying how there's no right way to lift and that there are jacked people everywhere. If you look at sprinters, footballers, some footballers are jacked, calisthenics, bodybuilders, powerlifters, like it just shows that there are many ways to skin a cat to get to the physique you want. So don't let some science-based guy fool you into thinking their program is the only program that will actually work to optimize your gains. Optimize in what regard? It depends what you're looking at. If you're looking at purely muscle size, maybe. But most people want to be well balanced. Most people want to have some power, maybe some strength, maybe do a bit of like body weight stuff. And also, guys, take your time with your rest. Don't rush. Trust me, you'd rather have 2 high-quality sets that you're rested up for than 5 sets that you aren't rested up for. Because like I said, the main stimulus you want is train to failure. How can you train to failure? When you're gassed from the previous set, when your muscles aren't as strong from the previous set. So I used to think like the more intense your workout, the more muscle you would gain. It's not. Bodybuilding is like a parasympathetic sport. Train hard, rest harder. There's something magical about having a chest pump and a back pump at the same time. I don't know if words can describe the feeling. You just sleep better at night when you're jacked from both angles. Shit's tiring, bro. If you genuinely train hard, you should be like sweating from like the first like exercise. It literally comes down to training hard, right? Because I've heard a lot of good arguments, convincing arguments for like high volume training where you just do a lot of sets per week. And I've heard a lot of convincing arguments for low volume training. And whoop-de-doo, both lead to gains. What's the common factor? Training hard. The reason you're not getting the gains you want in the gym is either because of what happens outside the gym or you're not training hard. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. That's the reason why. If there's an area of your body that you want to bring up relative to other areas, increase the number of sets you allocate per week to that muscle. On average, you want between 6 to 10 sets, sometimes 4, per muscle group per week. But if you have like a focal muscle that you want to improve disproportionately to the others, you can bring those sets per week from upwards of 12, 15, even 20 sets per week. So give it a go. So for example, for me, like I always had like small arms. So recently I just doubled my arm volume. I went from training arms once or twice a week to 3 to 4 times per week. And whoop-de-doo, my arms grew. It's really not fucking rocket science, guys. Holy fuck. It's like, I used to think, bring your wrists together. No. Instead, bring your elbows together. So you try and bring your wrists together, you're gonna do this. That's just a bicep exercise at that point. Instead, you wanna internally rotate your elbows and then focus on bringing your elbows together. That's the cue. Try that while you're sitting down in your bed or wherever you're watching this video. Try doing this. You don't feel it as much in your chest. Whereas turn in and do this. You feel those triple Ds pop. That's what you want to do to build a quadruple D chest. Well, I don't even know what the bra size are. What's higher than D? E? F? What about like a Z chest? This is how you build a Z level chest, boys. I'm fucked. Big 67 kilos. Okay, I cheated there, but like, it had to be done. It genuinely feels like I have a Jimbo right now, training with me. Pretty cool. Once you use your imagination to turn the tripod into a real life human that you're talking to, and to everyone on the outside, you look like you're schizophrenic. I had to get some lighter dumbbells because just with ladder raises, I find that I used to try and go really heavy and just like shrug the weight up. Trust me, bro, you're not doing anything. You're working your traps more than you are your actual side delts. For side delts, you kind of want to keep your shoulders down and imagine you're just lifting those arms up. From your elbows, you're lifting your hands up. It's harder than it looks. And so you kind of want to choose like a comically light weight where you can play an advanced game as Simon says. What that means is anytime throughout the movement, if I tell you to stop, you should be able to stop very easily. If you can't, the weight's too heavy. Choose a lighter weight. And you want to imagine that you're pouring a figurative mug of water with both your hands. Like you're pouring a mug of water into a glass. I'm going to abuse the lighting here a bit. The lighting is just too good not to take advantage of. To be passively jacked. So you're not like, you're jacked while living a normal lifestyle, not a bodybuilder's lifestyle. This channel isn't about getting jacked by making your life fitness. It's about making your life better with fitness. Big difference. Fundamentally, you only need a few habits to actually do that. You need to get your step count a bit higher. You need to start training hard, not like a bitch. And you need to start eating good quality foods that actually fuel your goals, not take you away from them. If you master those things, you're going to prevent a lot of disease, you're going to lose a lot of fucking weight, and you're going to look great and feel better. And be able to perform at the capacity you want to like build businesses and achieve whatever you want to achieve in life. That's ultimately what this channel is about, guys. It's about helping you become the best version of yourself. As cliche as that sounds, it really is. Right? And business and fitness are the ultimate forms of self-development. If you don't have your business right, or you don't have your fitness right, it's the ultimate reflection of your constraints, where you're fucking up, right? So take a moment to actually figure out where that might be and do something about it. That's it. That's the motivational fucking rant for today. You guys have it. That was a training day and a bit of a yap sesh, but hopefully you guys got value as well from that. And yeah,
Man, fucking, I'm just like so excited and nervous about this next chapter, but you guys are going to be in on every step of this journey, right? The highs, the lows. I'm going to document every single process of me building out this business to 7 figures a month and beyond. We are not playing around. We're going all in, fully, to make this work. Tune in for next episode, because that's going to be pretty cool. I'm going to be in Brisbane, and I'm going to tee it up with Brendan, aka the Quad Father, for some day in the life action, building a fitness startup from scratch after dropping out of med school. Being the underdog in life is kind of exciting. Sounds weird, coming from someone that's been like the golden child, the med school guy, the 7 GPA med school guy that parents would brag to other parents about, like, this is my kid. Coming from that angle, being the underdog, being the failure, being the guy that everyone thinks is going to fail is kind of better. Because that discomfort, that chip on your shoulder, oftentimes is what's needed to get to that next level, to really ignite that energy within you to fucking push and just take over. So honestly, I kind of like the fact that I'm at rock bottom right now. Like, it's like kind of like exhilarating. What the fuck's going to happen? Like they say, when you're at rock bottom, there's only one way to go, and that's up, right? But it's like, fuck, it's exhilarating, man. Because it's like, yeah, there's just nothing to lose and everything to gain. Anyway, I'll catch you guys later.